comes up yellow.
Yeah.
And then when you press it again, it goes iris and it goes back to normal. So that there, at the moment, is quite well done, but the lights are always on.
Yeah.
There's quite a lot of glare.
Do you know if there's anything we can do about that?
I'd probably have to Google the model and find out. That button there, on the cameras I've used previously, you'll hold up a white card.
Ora Koto, welcome everybody to the Alpine Ice Sports and Entertainment Center. My name's Matt Chavez. We're here today to bring you action between the top of the table SkyCity Stampede and the Canterbury Red Devils. This will be a big contest for both clubs for very different reasons. And as the clubs get out from the locker rooms, they're just now emerging. We'll get started shortly, but we wanted to go over a few things before we get started in today's afternoon's game time expedition here. The biggest thing going on is it is a day of hockey for the NZIHL. This game and the other game, the Battle of Auckland, going on later this pretty much between the intermission. So if you're streaming from home, make sure you switch back and forth this afternoon, because there's going to be a lot of hockey and not much reason for you to be watching intermission timers going off. Switch between those games. The Botany Swarm and the West Auckland Admirals going at it just a half an hour after our start, so hopefully you can catch a good portion of that game as well this evening. And let's get right to that, the standings. We wanted to take a look at how things are going. The Red Devils did not work out too well for themselves this past week. They did have the Mako prior to this, of course, but they've been caught by the Thunder. They each have an overtime loss at this point, 1 point, and goal diff separates the two clubs. The top three are the ones that get into the playoffs. So the Stampede have every reason to try to extend their points lead for the race to the number 1 seed. And the Swarm and Admirals will be playing in, well, trying to keep pace, because between them, only one, there's only 6 points per weekend, and the Swarm are going to want to get all 6, of course, to keep up and make this a 2-horse race. The Admirals need to make sure that they solidify their playoff position, and that is what's on the line for them. The Red Devils need to get back in this season, as they have still only the 1 overtime loss to the Swarm, to their credit thus far. But the best chance they're going to get to take down the top team here at home, and as the Red Devils come out and get started and warmed up, the Red Devils are facing a Stampede team that is, well, frankly, a little short of players. So that means that they're going to have a lot of extra shifts and so forth that they're going to have to deal with that they otherwise wouldn't. Dan Reason will be back in goal for the Red Devils this weekend. He's back from paternity leave. Congratulations to Daniel and Virginia. And looks like it's going to be, well, I don't want to, let me check the sheet here as the lights come back up. It will be starting for goal. They're going to start Aston Brooks for the Stampede. Hasselman played pretty much the entire 3-on-3, but got Aston in goal this time. So Brooks is going to start against Reason, and the Red Devils have some solid goaltending. Tim Carey holding down the fort while Reason was away, and we'll see if they switch on Sunday or not. That's to be determined, from what I understand. And the Stampede, let's go through their starting lineup. Who are they starting? Let's take a look. It'll be Amston and Burns, along with their import Ross Nolan. It looks like Jordan. No, that's not. That'll be Ross Nolan, Dylan Devlin. That makes much more sense. And Connor Harrison, a consistent starting 5 for them this season. The Red Devils are going to start with, well, let's see, they're going to go with Hidden Bull on that first line, with Dallimore and Keocope on the outside. And it'll be Meisternock and Dan Nichols to start as well. So some key players to watch. Make sure Nolan Ross and Ethan Esposito are on your radar, as they are a couple of Canadians that we'll get into a little bit more as we go, but we're ready to start. First period action here at the Alpine Ice. Hayden Boole takes that, loses that to Dylan Devlin, and we're underway with the Stampede holding the puck and looking to get started. Goes back to Nichols. Dallimore tries to get a hold of that. Goes to Harrison. Harrison flips in. It's Devlin chasing, but it's Nichols there first. Going around, Ross can't hold that in. Anston's got it out to Burns. Harrison flips it in. Nichols to collect it. Devlin chases on the forecheck. 3 in the zone to start with, and a good move. Boole getting it out of the zone for the Red Devils. They gain the zone. And that puck flips away to Harrison. Willis back out on the ice. Does just enough for defense as Harrison's knocked off the puck for a moment. Goes out to Freer at the point. Back to Boole. Boole flips it. Red Devils go for a line change. They're going to have to be quick as they come right back in. The shot attempt there by McCullum, not able to do anything with it as he's defended well. Freer loses it. And Keogh Cope just enough to get it out. The Red Devils reset. McIntosh with it. He brings it in the zone. Leaves it at the point. Long shot. Reason gloves it. And it gets behind the goal for a moment, but it's Willis looking for the outlet pass. He hits a board. It's going to bounce through and icing the call. Icing against the Red Devils. Let's go right back to some of the players to watch. Nolan Ross and Ethan Esposito, both from Canada, both import players. The Stampede, Nolan Ross has 17 points already, and Esposito towards the forefront of the Red Devils with 5 and 2 in just 6 games. A couple of switches. They've decided to back out that icing call to go from center ice again. Esposito has it as the Red Devils win that one. Flipped in, and behind Brooks' goal, Aston Brooks. And Freer has it, gains the zone. High shot goes over Reason, and over the crossbar goes to Brown. Good to see him back on the ice. McIntosh gets it away from him, looking for the point. Gets it to Burns, back to McIntosh. Chris Hunt on the defense there, and that puck rolls around, held at the half wall, looking for a shot, and then he decide to pass back in front. Shot and a goal. And a quick goal there for the Stampede just 2 minutes in. And that one gets through the 5-hole. Dan Reason letting that one get behind him. We'll see if we got a quick look at that. But as that's walked in, kind of a low shot and just squirts between the leg pads there. And that makes it 1-0 for the Stampede. And another early goal. It seems to be the thing here at the Alpine Ice. Just so many early goals in both games. Dallimore with it, rips the shot. Brooks knocks it aside. Stampede reset. McCullum with it. That pass goes all the way down. Tappan's going to win that race easily for icing against the Stampede. First of all, some of you may have seen on social media that we're broadcasting in FM inside the building. So for those of you that are checking it out, thank you. Hopefully everything's working okay. We're giving it a shot this weekend. Face-off coming in the offensive dot for the Red Devils. Orr loses that one, and the Stampede hold on to that puck. They move it out 3-on-3. Sofer with it, throws it deep off the kick plate on the left side. Follows it around, goes back out to neutral. And Esposito's going to chase this one down as quickly as he can. He turns on the turbo, but that puck goes all the way around. Hurley throws it forward. Now it's turned back over. Esposito with it again. Looking for a shot that goes off the shoulder and goes high and inside as he was looking for some sort of a deflection as it went through the crease. And it looks like that was a player that knocked, maybe it was Sean Brown dislodging that net as he was chucked into the goal behind Brooks. So a very quick 3 minutes. Again, 1-0 the score for the Stampede. Let's see if we got that face off. There we go. Into the corner. Harrison with it. He gets an outlet pass, puts it off the sideboard. That, of course, going to Ross Nolan. And the puck brought back out. Sorry, I said Ross Nolan. It's Nolan Ross. He's not on Friends, right? Harrison with it. Takes a shot, knocked away. That one got behind Reason again, but it slid just outside the pipe. And it stays 1-0, but not for another good opportunity for the Stampede. Into the corner, looking for a deflection. That gets knocked out. A good little chop at it by Lockie Hodge. And the Red Devils go for a change. Nichols out there to play defense. Shot and a goal. Ross, we're just sitting there waiting for something to happen. And that is a second goal for the import. Nolan Ross. Well, I actually put his name. That's one. All right, let's see if we've got that shot here. If we do, let's see if we can get this in before we get the face-off going. But just another good ripper. And 2-0 the score as we go back to regular action here. And the Stampede off to a flying start, as you might expect, the top team in the league. Willis getting it off to Hunt. Hunt looking for an outlet. He flips it high, goes neutral. And Ruski Jones back out there for the Stampede. McIntosh holding on to it. Goes to the point. Deflected, and it goes the other direction. And that's Mitchell Freer holding on to it. Gets rid of it, and the Stampede set up. That's turned over. Keocope holds it in. Esposito flips it. Rusky Jones can't do anything with it, but he gets it to a friendly face, and then that's sent the length of the ice, but not for icing. It was Willis touching it first, then to Hunt, back to Willis. Willis looking to escape the zone. Esposito has it, but he's held up as that kind of handcuffed him. Then it goes to Hunt. Hunt moving it in, gains the zone, takes the flip, high shot. The goal light went off, but that puck was definitely way over the crossbar and hit the glass clean. And we continue play as the Stampede try to get that out. It goes out to the blue line. Esposito can't hold it in, so he holds the puck, continues to hold the puck. Penalty, well, I assume yeah, there it is. The other referee's got his arm up. 6-on-5 for the moment for the Red Devils, as I saw Dan Reason come off and had a slight moment of panic, but turns out it's 6-on-5, and the tripping is the call. So we'll see how that works out. That is Amston going off for the trip. And the Red Devils, in just over 5 minutes, have dug themselves a bit of a hole, as Nolan Ross has made a 2-goal lead for the Stampede. And here's a power play for the Red Devils to try to get caught back up. Back to Esposito. That jumps his stick. It's a warm day. Bouncy pucks. Harrison coming in on the shorthanded option. Shot, and that goes to the side. He hops into the glass. Reason knocking that aside. That goes to Harrison. Played high, but goes to Reason and Esposito. Sorry, that is Luke Tappan with it for the moment. Up to Esposito. Pass forward to Hunt. Sent back. And, well, that was interesting. That was up in Dylan Devlin's gear for just a moment. Pulls it and tugs at his sweater, and sure enough, a puck drops out. And there's Tappan as the Red Devils get set up here. 70 seconds left on this power play. They bring it in the zone, leave it at the point. Willis with it. Willis coming around. Takes a sharp angle shot that's deflected. Goes around to Brown. Brown at the half board takes a low shot that's deflected. Hunt looking to do something with it, but he passes instead. Shot, and that's knocked aside. Willis trying to dig that out from Dallimore. Well, Dallimore had the shot there, and then that's sent, well, almost the length of the ice. Chris Hunt grabs that out of the air. Comes in quickly. Tries to go through 3 people. That's deflected back out. Willis with a low shot, trying to get something into Boole, and that is knocked around. The Red Devils trying to collect that, but they're not going to get there first. It goes to Brown and then to Nichols with 20 seconds to go on this power play. Up to Boole. Boole looking to enter. He's going to decides not to dump and chase, and that gets turned around on him. Reason collects the puck, and that will pretty much expire the tripping call against Amston. He's looking for somebody to get off or whether to stay out. Looks like he's going to go straight back. Ruski Jones with the puck. He sends it around the kick plate. Gets it to Chalice. And then that shot's deflected away. It was McCullum with that. Stays in play. And the rotation on for the Stampede. That puck going towards where Nichols and Harrison are in the corner. Goes behind the net. Sent backwards. Out to Freer at the point. Freer with a low shot. That's deflected. A good save there by Reason. And that puck finally gets out to neutral ice for a moment. Turned back around, but Harrison's going to carry it in. He still has it. Looking to get something there. Goes to the slot, but turned around. And it's Meisternock getting rid of that puck with a good touch, not getting an icing and allowing a change there for the Red Devils. Tapping out on the puck. Hits him and goes into the stands for a stop.
Because good cars helped me find the perfect car.
Good people, good service, good cars.
Two 0 to score here after 8 minutes of the first period. Stampede with a quick effort to extend the lead. Both goals by Ross. Ross Nolan. Nolan Ross. You write it down wrong once. That's what it does to you. Anyway, the puck is back in play in the offensive zone. A shot by Brown goes high off to Aston Brooks. He doesn't play it. He doesn't hold on to it. Hopkins holds it in, spins it around. There's another penalty here, but that one's a cross check. And it looks like it will be Sean Brown going off. Is that right? Yes, it is. Sean Brown going off 2 minutes for cross checking. So a penalty kill coming up here for the Red Devils. And they're going to need to play this one a little bit cautiously and conservatively to not give up a third goal and let the Stampede pretty much boss this game to start with. And there's Gallimore. He's lost his stick. He's trying to kick it out. He picks up the stick, but that stays out of the point. Out to Chalice. Chalice has it, looking for a pass. McIntosh sends it low. Turned around, and it's kicked into the corner. Ross with it for just a moment. Out to Chalice, halfway. Chalice holds at the point, sends it across the ice. And that's intercepted. That's a good chance there, and it's Gallimore that's passed ahead of him just a little too much by Dodwell. But a good defensive play nonetheless. It comes back. McIntosh is going to gain the zone himself. Holds on to it. Shot and a goal. With 1:06 left to go in that power play, the Stampede managed to extend that lead and make it 3-0 for the visitors. And the nearly sold-out crowd here at the Alpine Ice, very quiet, and probably rightfully so, as the Red Devils are on their back heels. The league's top team comes in here and is bossing the Devils around. And they need to change the way that they're playing, or this is going to be a long weekend in the same way that it was when they were in Queenstown. Or with it for a moment. Meisternock with a low shot that's just knocked off by Harrison's shins. That comes out, turned over. Brown with it. Brown evades a hit by Harrison. That puck's left behind and stays in. Orr had it for just a minute, but Harrison collects it. He's going to exit the zone. And he collects it again, throws it in, looks for a deep offensive chance. They get some changes. Hodge there. And that puck goes just out of play. Well, we'll take a just a moment's breath here as the Stampede have kept the pace up on this game and have been pressing the Red Devils from the get-go and continue to impress their will upon the team in red. That puck goes out to the point. Reason knocks it aside. Hopkins. Stampede still with it. That's Sofer with it. Goes out to the outside. Long shot, gloved and held by Reason. It was a point shot. Looked like it was that Logan. Was it McCullum, I think it was, that took that shot from the far point. And the Red Devils with a decent shift here. We'll see if they can get out of the zone as they're back on 5-on-5 action here. Ruski Jones wins that one, stays at the point. Goes to McCullum, shot, kick save. And that one's flipped back out. It's going to go the length of the ice, and it does go for icing. Dodwell tried to get that a little bit narrower, but did get to the goal line and icing the call. Most of the players out here that made this trip also did the 3-on-3, so the Stampede, they'll take that one again. Not sure why the face-off stopped by the linesman there. And they were pretty brutal the entire 3-on-3. They didn't win that tournament, but when they had their offense going, they were efficient, and it looks like they're still at that today. Chalice throwing that into Freer. Freer onside into the corner. Back to Chalice. And the Red Devils get that one out. Dodwell's got it 1-on-3. He's going to gain the zone. Tried to put a move on. Now it's Willis. And Keocope's got to chase that one, but no, it's icing. He was unaware that that puck was going towards him. And we get a stop in play. Futaporo Accountants. Not your average accountants. Futaporo take the hassle out of taxes and let you focus on what you do best. Futaporo.co.nz. They're putting Keocope back out there because of the icing call. And that face-off won by the Red Devils. Another bouncy puck. Maybe they didn't get that in the freezer, but they've been bouncing today. Not surprising. It's been about 12 degrees outside, so another warm one here in Christchurch. You're right in front. And a good stop by Reason as he seems to be getting his sea legs now. Esposito with it out at the red line. He's going to gain the zone. Keocope to his left or further back. Passed back. Goes to Hunt. He's got to just chop at it, and that goes out of the zone. Willis is going to get to that puck first. And he sends it around to Esposito as the Red Devils look to get something started here. That's a long pass. Not going to go for icing. It'll be collected by Risky Jones. That's Ollie Risky Jones, not Axel. And Ross with it for a moment. Nichols. Nichols holds. The Red Devils get set up and a couple of changes. Brown gains the zone. Flipped forward up to Orr. Orr's got it behind the net. Looking for somebody to pass to, but he is harassed quite a bit there. Meisternock with it for a moment. A good second effort by Meisternock there as his pass was deflected, but he knew right away and put a good body check on to prevent a turnover. A great play by that younger player, and that's now an icing as he wins that race. And we'll have a break here with 7 minutes to go. Christchurch Orthodontic Specialists, expert tailored treatment to get you the smile you want. ChristchurchOrtho.co.nz. Face off in the offensive zone. Bull's going to take that for the Red Devils. That's dropped and won by the Stampede. but turned over to Dallimore. Dallimore in front looks for that pass to Bull, but his stick was lifted, and the Stampede come charging out. McCullum with it. McCullum's one of the 2 imports for the Stampede, along with Nolan Ross, of course. And the import train keeps chugging along for the Stampede with a lot of other good players, and that's why they're at the top of the league. Must be nice to have a place where you can ski and tell people that's where they can go. But that's not how this works, right? You just get what you get. Dallimore with a little flip behind. Goes out to Freer. Puck goes high. Hit a player. Boy, that was coming to us. That may have hit one of the coaches. Yes, it did. And yikes. Little shiner right on the top of the forehead. Yep. Anyway, thankful, whoever it was down on the staff for the Stampede, thank you for blocking the camera because it's much appreciated, and we can continue with the broadcast because we still have equipment. There you go. So, Stampede with that puck again, although fighting away at it. That's turned in front. Dodwell with a shot just over the crossbar. Out to Willis. Willis with a low one. Gallagher with it for a moment. Getting some ice time. Passed forward. Dodwell collects. Dodwell looking for an outlet. Picks his head up. Loses the puck. And that stays with Chris Hunt, one of the 2 imports for the Red Devils. And the Stampede collect and look to break out. Harrison with it at center ice. Harrison flipping it forward. Nichols and Hunt collect. Lots of people over the boards. The Red Devils get it to Esposito. Esposito gains his own. He had some chances on the outside there, and then it's Meisternock with a good check to Rout, Ollie Rout. And that comes in offsides. So 5 minutes to go, and some changes for the Red Devils already. Just the no need to be patient here. They're down 3-0. The SkyCity Stampede bossing this game, so getting everybody out there is probably the best thing that Coach Anton Pervert can do here. Meisternock with a long shot. That gives all sorts of fits. That hit the netting. It took a minute to figure that out. But Aston Brooks had to look at that puck flutter in with a lot of dark colors behind him, and he looked like he lost it for just a minute there. Good shot by Meisternock. Another face-off coming up here. Let's see if we can get a better shot of that. There it is. Oh, look at that. One by the Red Devils. Nichols with a low shot. Brooks kicks it aside. Out to Meisternock. Another low one, but that goes behind the net. Sean Brown not able to collect that one. It goes to Hurley. Hurley gets rid of it after Amston. Amston to Salfer. Salfer lets it go by, and that does go for icing. Nichols wins the race on that one, and that'll come back to the other side. The Red Devils, yes, they are going to make some changes here while the Stampede are stuck with their lineup. No real surprise there. 4:30 to go in the first. The Red Devils trying to get something going here. To be fair, they have stopped the bleeding, if you will. It's been 3-0 for a little while. Make sure I got this. Yeah, okay. Making sure I got the score running right. It is 3-0, and that's going to go for icing. In case anybody wasn't sure, let me see if I. Yeah, there it is. Full score, 3-0. Promise. There you go. Another face-off coming in. The offensive side there, it's going to be Orr taking that one against Whiskey Jones. And good work by Esposito to try to keep that in, but he couldn't do it for too long, and that comes back out to neutral. Hopkins lets that go by, goes to Tappan. Tappan with the long pass, trying to get it to Brown. Brown can't control it. Comes back in, then back out to neutral. Brown's going to chase that one down. Kind of sticks at it there. It was an offside call as Esposito was flying in off the left side, but it went back and forth for just a moment. Asian Garden Hospitality Group, creating memorable dining experiences in an exquisite atmosphere at restaurants nationwide. And we've got a face-off for the offside there. Sorry about the angle on that one. That comes in up to the corner to Willis. Willis gets there, gets it to Hunt. Hunt looks for an outlet. No, he keeps it behind, gives it back to Logan Willis. Four players in the zone there for the Stampede, and the best move is to skate it out. Gallimore had it for a moment. It gets sent all the way back, and once again icing for the Stampede. It's an interesting approach. It slows down the game. This is almost a kind of a park the bus, if you will, for the Red Devils for the moment, but it is doing what it needs to do, which is to stop the offensive onslaught by the Stampede. They've had too many chances from outside, or just uninterrupted chances. And that was a shot by Hunt that was kicked aside. And that's probably the best chance the Red Devils have had, a shot from the point that had some traffic. And unfortunately, that's not going to score too many goals there. So the Red Devils are going to need a lot more of what just happened to get back in this game. But one step at a time, keeping the Stampede off the board here is the important part. Devlin getting that for a moment. That gets back to Freer. Freer with a shot. That hit a crossbar and went out. That was all sorts of traffic. Dan Reason really never saw that. Let me see if I can get that on replay for you here. Let's see if that... Boy, when this shot came in, no idea where it was. You could see all he saw was a shooting motion, but it hits the crossbar, nearly hits Dan Reason in the face, and goes up into the netting. And the Red Devils get this puck for a moment. Dodwell trying to get it out. It does go out to neutral, but Burns has it, and the Stampede reset. Flipped up. Ross is going to get that first to Harrison. Shot from the point. That one hits glass as it's deflected to the side. Burns has it. Nichols goes around to Keogh Cope. He touches the puck for just a moment, but it does get out to the Stampede. Amston then up to Harrison. Ross with it. And it is just knocked around. Dodwell trying to do something with it. Shot. That handcuffs Reason again. Big rebound, but the Red Devils are in the right spot for that one with just under 2 minutes to go. That stays in the zone. Yes, it does, but it'll be the Red Devils controlling it. Long pass up to neutral. Keogh Cope with the deflection, and that'll solve the icing. A couple of the defenders switching out, and the Red Devils trying to catch somebody on by surprise, but the Stampede ready to go on that one defensively. Turned around, Hurley with it, and that puck comes out as quick as it was put in. Kicked forward, Brooks with it. Brooks plays it behind. Esposito gets it first. Then it's passed out by the Stampede back to Hurley. Into the corner for Esposito. And it'll be Orr that gets the puck. Orr to Brown. That pass a little bit off. Brown couldn't really do much with it, and it gets swept back to Hopkins. Hopkins tries to get it to the blue line, but that early pass, that does come out. The Stampede are offside. They have to give that one up. And the Red Devils looking to break out. Bull with it. Bull throws it forward. Brooks plays it. Unlike Hasselman, who would probably be at the blue line playing that, Brooks stays back a little bit more. We'll see if Hasselman's out tomorrow. I'm sure he'll have about 3 shots on goal if things are normal for him. But the Red Devils, the recipients of an icing call here. 3-0 the score. And just under 30 seconds to go in the first. I'm guessing we've got some problems going on here because I'm getting all sorts of texts about now, so we'll see how that's going. But if we have any technical problems, apologies. And that puck to Burns, back to Amston. To Hunt. And Bull's got it. Bull with a rip. And Brooks with the glove save. Hunt comes in, forcing the stop in play. 13.5 seconds to go. Just a little bit longer here. It's Tim Carey's going into the locker room. Don't know if he's just exiting early for any kind of change or not. That's just something to watch here. But Reason has solidified everything in the last, 10 minutes or so. But a rough start, but he's been out there for a while, and that last shot comes in from Freer at half ice. And that ends the period. 3-0 the score for the Stampede coming into Christchurch and pretty much bossing this game around from the get-go. And they are continuing to show why they are, they're at the top of the league, right? There you go. So they're trying to make sure that they collect maximum points this weekend to make sure that they stay ahead of the Swarm. Speaking of, the Swarm and Admirals are playing. They should be on the other stream. If you get a chance, go check that out during the intermission. We'll be back with you to probably see the kids on the ice in about 10 minutes. But in the meantime, enjoy the other stream. Red Devils hockey brought to you by Reform Radiology. We'll see you in 14 minutes. Kia ora koto. Welcome back, everybody, to the Alpine Ice Sports and Entertainment Center. My name's Matt Chavez, and it's the under-12s again. You know who this is by now, right? Bats and Spiders. Even I know their names now without the sheet. Shout out to Kat Tobin for always helping us out on that. Gotta love the blue puck. And just as a reminder, in case you happen to be watching for the first time, if you have a kid that's 12 or under and wants to give ice hockey, oh, that's a good move. Well done, 24. If you have a kid that wants to give this a shot, it's a fantastic, fun sport, and they'll give you a chance to try it all out for free. Just look up CIHA.org.nz or Google Canterbury Ice Hockey Association. They'll help you out. A lot of the kids, a lot of the players that you see on the Red Devils started this way, so sky's the limit, really, and these kids have a good time doing it. With just a minute to go on the scoreboard for the intermission, I'm actually curious. I'm looking out at the audience right now and just see who's got the radios today. If anybody's got an FM radio, just out of curiosity, wave your hand or raise it up and wave just a little bit. I want to see if anybody is listening today. And if you are, I really appreciate it. It was on social media. In the meantime, for those of you that are watching this stream at home and on YouTube, make sure you hit the like button for us so that we can appease the algorithmic overlords. They always like it when that happens, and it helps get hockey out to the world from NZ. And there's the buzzer for the kids. Another good round for the U12s. Not sure I got a score on that. A couple of good goals early on by the Bats. So we're in a good one there. That blue puck, still a little heavy, but a lot softer than the black one, that's for sure. Congratulations, guys. We'll be back with you in just a moment.
Do you know why I think of good cars after every training session? Because. Because good cars helped me find the perfect car.
Good people, good service, good cars.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Alpine Ice Sports and Entertainment Center. My name's Matt Chavez. We're about to bring you second period action here from Christchurch, New Zealand. The Red Devils down 3 goals early, and the league leaders, Stampede, out to make an impression early. And again, maybe we'll go back to that players to watch. Nolan Ross, import player from Fort Francis. He's been making quite an impression. Has the first 2 goals for the Stampede today, and continuing on his statistical romp through the NZIHL. Ethan Esposito, the import for the Red Devils from Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, also been doing really well for himself. The man can skate. Ethan Esposito does a great job of getting up and down the ice and has had a lot of even opportunities go his way so far this year. We'll be looking to see if he can cut some this lead away as we enter the second period. So as we get going, and hopefully the lens and the white glare and all of that's a little sorted out. We had a filter that was needed to be added to the camera lens, and hopefully that's all sorted out. And we'll get back underway here in just a minute. Dan Reason back out in net for the Red Devils. No change there. And, of course, Aston Brooks on the other end of things. As we get started, Joe Orr skating a little bit back here, just making sure that the posts and everything are right for Reason on that side of the net, or that side of the ice. before we get going here in Christchurch. Full house again today. You know, while I'm thinking about it, well, nope, they're ready to go. So let's go. Second period action here at the Alpine Ice. Face-off won by the Stampede. Harrison with it. He takes it, throws it low at Reason. Reason knocks it into the corner rather confidently into the Zamboni doors. And it's Esposito looking for the outlet pass. He knocks it forward to Brown. Brown tips it forward. Amston gets there. Amston sweeps it aside, but stays with the Devils for the moment. And that's Brown with it for just a little while. And he takes out his player or flips it back and gets it into the corner, but that's taken away by Ross. Nolan Ross with the outlet here. And does get out to neutral. Or with it, sends it to Brown. Back into Esposito. And it looks like a little bit of a changeup for the Red Devils. Every bit of offense they've got was on this line. Out to Ross. Ross passes it 3-on-1. Reason with a great stop. And the Red Devils turn it over. They're going to go for a couple of changes, but Esposito stays out. Hodge back out looking for that pass. It's kicked away. It's right at him for a chance to come back in on Aston Brooks, but unfortunately for him, there was one skate in the way, and the Stampede iced the puck here. Meisternock getting back. And for the first time this afternoon, the Red Devils absolutely bossing the game for a whole minute here. The changeup, been interesting. Esposito, Hunt, Orr, and Brown all on the ice at the same time was, well, that was some fireworks to start with. We'll see if the other lines can keep up here. The Red Devils lose that faceoff. Back out to McIntosh. McIntosh gets his shot deflected and into the netting. Alpine Ice, fun physical entertainment for the whole family. Visit alpineice.co.nz. Face-off in the defensive end, shot by the Stampede. That was Lachlan Freer with that heavy shot. Reason knocking it aside. Lost that camera. There we go. Thanks for that. And goes up into the corner, and Dallimore holds on to it. And a good catch by Chris, our cameraman, as a button got nudged. Once again, it's a matter of holding too many things at the same time, so apologies for that. 17:46 to go in the second period. Esposito or Brown tapping out there for the Devils. And they need to crack this net open just once to see if they can get back in this game. Hopkins on the defense here. It's 2-on-2 for the Red Devils, or for the Stampede, excuse me, a shot. And Hurley taking a shot in on Reason, getting a stop with a high angle shot. That's not going to get by Reason in a good position there. Face off coming up in the defensive zone. Face-off coming out for the Stampede. They hold on to it. Amston with a low, kind of knuckler shot. Gave Reason some trouble as that kind of fluttered in, but it was slightly off target. Or trying to get the puck around him. And that does come out. Brown's going to get there, but behind Risky Jones. Risky Jones gets it sent around, but it's tapping there for the Red Devils, and they're going to get it out of the zone. Out to neutral, or with it, looking for a pass. He gets it in. It's onside. Esposito with a shot. Brooks' shoulder save as that gets knocked, and it kind of hit the glass lightly, and it's going to go back for an icing. Once again, the Red Devils figuring out the offense here. They just have not solved Brooks yet. But for all intents and purposes, the first 3 minutes look like it's a matter of time. Red Devils to take this one. It'll be Gallagher taking that one. Losing it, Amston has it now for the Stampede. Amston passing it forward. That's turned around by Willis. Goes right back in. Keokuk chasing in after Risky Jones. And Gallagher tying him off 2-on-1. They get to the puck for a moment, but then that puck is flipped back out, and Ross has it up to Devlin. Devlin passing it forward to Ross, but gets through his skates. And the two of them trying to play tic-tac-toe, and they just don't make that match quite effectively. That goes offside, then played with a high stick. So, stop in play, and that's going to come into the defensive zone. Okay, I'm not sure on this one as far as why it was played with a high stick in that situation going back to the defensive zone, but Bull loses that face-off, and the Stampede had it for a moment. They continue to dig at it at the Zamboni doors. Ross tried to get a hold of it, but then it's Hunt, and up to Hodge, back to Hunt. Hunt brings it in on his own offside. Harrison turns it back around, goes to neutral, arm lowered. 4-on-3 as they come in up to Ross. Ross can't hold on to it, but he does poke a shot through. Reason kicks it aside into the corner. Ross with it again. He comes back at the line looking for a pass. Harrison can't connect. That stays in the zone. Great play by McCullum to keep that in. And that puck stays behind. Goes out to McCullum at the point. Takes a low shot, deflected. Couple bounces and a good stop there by Reason. Stays 3-0. And the Red Devils holding on here. Good play by Willis in front into the crease, but that's turned around. McCullum's on the opposite side looking for help. And then finally Hunt with it. Turned to Dallimore. Dallimore gets it back. He's going to take a shot. Glove saved by Brooks, and a good one. 5 minutes into this second period, and the Red Devils look like a completely different team. I will tell you that I would not have wanted to be in that locker room if there is something to be changed over that much. Coach Perber must have said something, because this team looks entirely different than the way they did in the first period. Red Devils try to get a hold of that one. It's going to be Nichols skating back and getting another icing on the play. Bushnell Builders. Trust Bushnell Builders for over 40 years of excellence in commercial and residential construction across Christchurch and Canterbury. Quality, experience, and dedication in every project. Bushnell.co.nz. Face off for Orr in the offensive end. He takes that one, wins it for a moment, then it goes to Esposito, and then Amston knocks it around to Freer. Freer holds it at the kickboard, looking for an outlet. He gets out to neutral, elbowed to the side there, but knocked aside by Brown for just a moment to throw him off. And that continues on with Amston looking for a pass, but it comes out. It's Meisternock with the low pass. They're going to call that icing, as that was unplayable, and it's going to come back for a defensive zone face-off. Southern Cross Hospital. We've got all your health and wellness needs covered. southerncross.co.nz. Face-off with McIntosh against, looks like Orr. And they drop the puck. Stampede win it for a moment. Shot in front. 2 shots and a good save, as they are a little late on that whistle, as it was Jordan Chalice's chance in the low slot there, and he just couldn't get anything on it. Reason in the right spot at the right time. Back to normal Dan Reason things. And McIntosh loses that face off to Meisternock. Meisternock wheeling it around, looking for an outlet. Leaves it for Esposito. Esposito to Nichols. Nichols up to Orr. Everybody looking around to see if that was going to stop play, but no, and McIntosh knocks that into the corner. Freer's going to get there first, and that goes to Reason. Reason holds on to it. A dangerously bouncing puck, but the Stampede can't get anything on that. And a face-off coming in the offensive zone for the team in yellow. So as we continue through here, oh, that was interesting. Haven't had the PA announcer do Sweet Caroline before, but there you go. And as a heavy shot by Mitchell Freer with an excellent save by Dan Nichols. Sorry, I said Dan Nichols. That was Mr. Reason. Sorry about that, Dan Reason. And if you know Dan Reason and Dan Nichols, you can't really miss the two of them, but I just did it. So there you go. Ruski Jones with it, neutral. Freer, and that's Mitchell Freer collecting it. Dodwell on the forecheck. Good steal there. Can't really stay too well on his feet, so it's kicked around. Gallagher with it for the moment. Out to neutral, Tappan. Tappan gets it again. Luke Tappan getting it to Keocope. Back to Sofer. Thrown forward by Freer. Tappan there first for the Red Devils. And they skate hard to try to hold on to that, but it is kept in by Ruski Jones, Axel Ruski Jones there. Tipped forward. And then back, it's Gallagher coming up the right side, looking for a pass. No, he shoots. Brooks knocks it aside. No real trouble there. Turned around by Hunt. Hunt's going to come into the zone. Looking for Bull. He's open. Got to turn around, so he passes it as that pass was behind. And they do not get an icing call. The Red Devils have to skate this one out themselves. No icing there either. Amston gets there first as Dallimore skates up on him. Turned around. Ross with it. Ross gains the zone. Ross gives it to Devlin. Devlin with a shot. And a pesky one there. Out to Amston. Amston with a low one. Kick save and a really good chance there by Amston. But Reason kicks out the boot and holds it up. Back to the Devils again. And they lose that at neutral. That's Esposito. Sorry, Bull with it for a moment. That's kicked forward by Harrison. Harrison can't do anything with it as he's hip checked. Knocked away. And Willis skating in a couple extra strides and making sure it gets out of the zone. Good shot there. That's knocked aside by Brooks. Esposito's going to get another chance. Wrister and another good save. Boy, if we got that glove work by Brooks on camera or on replay here, we'll see if we've got this one. But Esposito skating around and collecting that thing and just ripping it. Just a hard wrister. And he's going to stay out a little bit longer. There it is. And we go back to the face-off camera. Let's see if we've got a little tighter shot. There we go. 11:48 to go here in this second period. Orr's going to take this one. Little flicker there with the LEDs. And that puck rings around the boards. And Nichols is going to go collect that. Doesn't need to. We'll do it again as it's icing against the Stampede. Clear Digital CCTV, Clear Digital Security Specialists for your home and business. CCTV, alarms, and much, much more. Call Gary on 021-810-860. Face-off won by the Stampede there. That's McCullum. He gets up to McIntosh. Gains the zone, knocked forward. A weird shot as that just kind of slid forward on Reason. He kicks it aside, goes up, but it stays off the netting. Willis goes low. Nichols. And then a shot from the steep angle there for Chalice. Seems to be his favorite location at the moment. Good play there by Esposito. He knocks his player off the puck, skates it all the way himself, takes the shot, and Brooks has it in his gear. Esposito taking it the length of the ice and getting a stop on the other side. Another good play. The Red Devils have played at least equal, but they still look to get some sort of a shot by Brooks as Aston Brooks is still pitching that shutout. And without solving him once, this game doesn't change. Poole gets that puck through and wins the faceoff. I don't know if that's official or not, but he had control. Dallimore swings it low to him again. In front, and a deflection off a skate. Almost an own goal, if you will. And another dangerous chance for the Red Devils. Tappan stopping Hurley for a moment. Hurley's going to go chase it down. He gets there first, hits Tappan, and that puck rolls around in behind Reason's net off the kick plate. And as they try to dig that one out, Hopkins gets it for a moment, then sent around, and it's deflected somewhat in front of the goal. And it's Hopkins looking as a pass right to Risky Jones. A dangerous one, as that was not ever going to clear the zone. Hopkins is going to collect it again. And another pass, but this one gets by Risky Jones to the other Risky Jones. That was Ollie to Axel in this case. And Ollie sends it in to Nolan Ross. Ross with a rip that is off target. And Dallimore collects the puck well out away from the goal, almost at the blue line there. And a turnover in front. Shot and another stop by Reason. There's another deflected puck. It goes out to neutral. And that one is held up by the Stampede. McCallum with it at the moment. Pass forward to Devlin. He can't do anything with it. Passed around. Keo Cope trying to dig away at it. Harrison wins that one to McCallum. McCallum with a heavy shot deflected. Another good save by Reason. And a lot of talking over here on the bench. And the Red Devils get this one back out to neutral. Gallagher coming up the side. On the forecheck, he leaves the ice. Turned around, McCollum coming back out. Gains the zone. Takes a shot. And Reason holds on to it. Face off coming in the defensive zone there, but a good stop in play at a good time. And the Red Devils kind of sort things out here. A good time to stop, and McIntosh is going to take this one against Oregon. The two centermen clash. Stampede win the faceoff, and McIntosh skates where the puck goes on his own there and stays at the half boards for a moment. Almost looks like a bit of a power play. Skips by Willis, hits the post, and a goal. The Red Devils have been playing very, very well for what really is almost 10 minutes there, and against the run of play even, McIntosh with a big smile and the gap tooth tells everybody he's the one that put it past Reason there. And 4-0 to score for the Stampede. The Red Devils are going to have to collect themselves here as they are finding themselves in a deep hole this Saturday afternoon. And they need to get back in this game as quickly as possible. Hurley with that. Now Amston, he gets it knocked off his stick. Back to Amston. Amston dumps, and the Stampede chase. It's Hurley coming in. It's behind the play to Reason. Or skates it forward. Turned over to Risky Jones. Out to Amston. Low shot. That hits the glass as it rises up just over the crossbar. Esposito playing that puck now. He avoids a check from Sofer, and now it's Willis. And that's turned right around to Sofer as that puck bounced funny. And in the benefit of the Stampede, that one's going to go out to neutral, though. Burns with it. Turned over to Esposito. Esposito one-on-one. Tries to drag move, but he can't get the puck by Burns there. And that's going to come all the way down. It's going to be Willis playing it in the corner. And Hunt gets that deflected off him. Goes all the way out to neutral. McCollum's going to go straight up the gut here. Gains the zone. Puck left at the point to Harrison, back to McCollum. McCollum in front. And another shot. And a tic-tac-toe goal for the Stampede as Nolan Ross knocks that one behind for a 5-0 lead. Let's see if we've got that one for you. And it's just really a pass right in front to Nolan Ross, and he can't miss from that distance. 5-0 the score. There we go, 5-0 for the Stampede. And the Red Devils not really playing all that badly this period, but against the run of play, they just couldn't get anything on the board these first 10 minutes. And the Stampede doing what they do, once they turned it around just a little bit, the offense started flowing immediately. Reason caught behind the net for a moment. Tappan knocking it around. And they're swarming already. Finally turned around. And the Stampede trying to get that puck out of the zone there. And they collect it, have possession of it. A long pass in front. And there's Ross again. He passes it across ice. Thrown in. And Ross is first to the puck. Sent around in the corner. Freer with it. Offense cycling, but it's going to be Brown that gets it for the Red Devils. He knocks it aside. Keocope looking for an outlet. Gets it back to Brown. Brown takes it forward, but loses it off the tape of his stick. Back to McIntosh. McIntosh with it. Physically knocked around. He's looking for a call. He's got no stick. And no call coming there as he generally just lost it in the process of playing the puck. And that gets to Reason. And we stop play with 6:03 to go in the second. Reason with the stoppage and the face-off coming. They're keeping Freer off the ice for some reason. Apparently it was a little too late of a change, but to be honest, they were not sure who they were going to pull off for that. McIntosh should take that against Gallagher. Amston. McIntosh. Back to Amston, but he can't stop it with a skate blade. Keocope chasing that one down. Dodwell overskates that puck. It goes behind him and goes back to Hopkins. No icing here as that was deflected on the way in. Stays in that corner. Comes out to Keocope. Up to Gallagher. Gallagher's going to chase that down up the right side. Flips it forward. Goes behind the net. Comes back out. Chalice looking for a pass. Couldn't find McIntosh there. It goes out to neutral. Freer. Dodwell on him. Passes it to Ruski Jones. Flipped in. And it'll be Hopkins there first. He spins it around. He cannot get away from Ruski Jones there. And that stays in as, again, that's 68 is Ollie. And a goal. Just that quick. Just as you look down to sort out the brothers, they score a sixth goal. Let's take a look at that one again. And frankly, I'm going to look at it again too because I looked down at the wrong moment there. Oh, what a fantastic goal. No wonder. A deflection that you just can't expect. And that gets behind Reason, makes it 6-0. Fantastic goal by the Stampede. Hodge with it. He gains the zone. Sends it in. It's a little high. Hits the glass. And the Red Devils, Chris Hunt with it. Passes it. Goes beyond a few people. Logan Willis to collect that puck behind the net. Goes out to neutral. Stampede with it for a moment. Now back to Hunt. Hunt to Dallimore. Dallimore's got a chance. He hits the glass high. Flipped out and deflected away. Low shot. And knocked around. Freer with it. Freer slowing the puck down. Up to Ross. Lachlan Hodge with it now. Gets deflected away by Dylan Devlin. Out to McCullum. McCullum with it. Wow, I never saw that coming. That was a quick glove stop there by Reason. Although he didn't hold on to it. Looks like the puck may have gone out of play. That was an optical illusion there, that shot. 6-0 the score, and the Stampede in full control here in the second period at the Alpine Ice. Face-off won by the Red Devils, but turned around by the Stampede. 2 shots in, and it'll be Nichols walking it out as Reason knocks that aside with the kick save. McCullum to Harrison to Ross. Ross looking for a pass to McCullum. Shot and a goal. McCullum with the blue line shot, making it 7-0. And we'll take a look at that one if we can see it again. But excellent passing. And he actually took this shot a little bit far out. But nonetheless, he had traffic in front and they make it 7-0. The Stampede doing Stampede things again and quieting this building to a hush. 7-0 the score. Visitors up by a touchdown. Red Devils bring it in the zone. Brown with it, looking for a pass. That's deflected away as it's on its way to Orr. Brown has it again, looking to cross ice. Couldn't quite hit some tape because they had Brooks on the wrong side of the net there, but couldn't get that one-timer done. Out to Hopkins. Hopkins holds, dump, and go for a change here. Esposito doubling up. And that's passed out to Freer, but caught by Gallagher. He's going to skate all the way behind the net and get reset, looking for an outlet, but instead goes aside to Hopkins, who then gets it all the way up to Esposito with 2 other touches, or 1 extra touch there, and Esposito in the corner. Back to Hopkins at the point, back to Esposito, goes around to Dodwell. Dodwell trying to do something with it. Esposito sending it around, goes to Gallagher. Gallagher double teamed. Gives it to Esposito. Rister attempted. Can't do anything with that. Puck coming up near us. That goes towards the Stampede bench. Stays in, bounces around, and goes for icing. 2:18 remaining time in this second period. And the Red Devils just trying to get some sort of offense going. They played really well in the first half of this period, but just still have not solved Brooks in any way. Routes out there to take this face-off against McIntosh, and he wins that one. Willis with a low shot, or a low, kind of a rising shot, but it goes just left of the goal. Hunt comes all the way back. He holds it, looks for the long pass forward, hits Keocope, so no problem with the icing here, but Freer's going to get it, collect it. And we're under 2 minutes to go in the second period here at the Alpine Ice in Christchurch, New Zealand. SkyCity Stampede with a shot and a 7-goal lead here. And Willis and Sofer having a little extras after the play. Frustrations definitely boiling over already. This is really exposing where the Red Devils are at. And it's going to make a difficult time of getting to that 3rd spot and getting in the playoffs at this rate. That shot from the point from Amston, gobbled up by Dan Reason. He gloves and saves, and will do it again. We'll talk a little bit more about the standings and the situation for the Red Devils going forward for the rest of this season, but this is that's a warning against Axel Ruski-Jones. He wins it anyways, goes out to Amston. Amston controls it at the point, walks it a little bit in, takes a wrister, it's deflected to McCullum. Low shot, that's deflected as it goes in on Reason. Willis collects it, goes to Dallimore. Liam Dallimore passing it off the sideboards. Hodge can't do anything with it. Goes over to Sofer. He's got it. Whiffs on that one. Goes to McCallum. That dropped, and then a shot and a goal. And Reason lets that one by. We'll see if we have that, but that is 8-0. And let's take a look at this one again. And there's another shot. And Dan Reason, unfortunately, probably wants that one back. That is a little bit on the 5-hole spot there. It's something the Stampede have taken advantage of today. Sean Brown with it, takes the shot, Brooks with it, and boy, a chance there for the Brown-Orr combination. Brown has it, and he doesn't, and it's up to Nichols. Nichols kind of pokes it away. He does it again, gets it to Orr. Orr leaves it, Brown shoots it, that's deflected. And a high-angle shot. Nichols trying to swat at it, can't get the bouncing puck. Meisternock gets it, passes it to Esposito. He's going to take it up the left side. 3-on-2 if they hurry here. Leaves it behind, up to Brown. Brown tries to get it back to Esposito, but he can't do anything with it as it goes the wrong side of the other player. And Nichols with a low shot. That's not on target. Then it goes to Orr. He can't do anything with it. And Ross knocks it out, goes to neutral. Stampede are going to have a 3-on-2 if they get a chance here. Devlin leaves it behind. Shot, and that's knocked aside. It was Harrison with a wrister, and he still has the puck behind the net. Knocked aside. Burns gets it out. And it's a 1-on-1 here with Esposito, but that gets knocked away early by Risky Jones. Just a pesky poke check that gets the puck. He wasn't even really looking at it, but still does it. And that makes it 8-0 after 2 here in Christchurch. The Red Devils having it handed to them, unfortunately, for the home side, as they played lights out for 10 minutes but could not score. And then the league leaders, the Stampede, put up 5 goals in the second half of the second period. And with that, we'll remind you a couple of things here, some housekeeping. If you are watching on YouTube and you've got a browser up, please give that thumbs up a click for us. We'd appreciate that. It always helps us out. If you're in the building tomorrow, we're going to do another FM broadcast on 107.7. If you want to check out the live broadcast here in the building, we've got that simulcast here. And I did promise we were going to talk standings here. So we'll say, those of you that, I mean, I'm all for miracles, but I'm thinking 8-0 might be a bit much today to come back from. And because of that, let's just go through the standings of where we're at. The most important thing here for the Stampede is to maintain their lead on the 1 seed. For those of you that are unfamiliar, the NZIHL currently has a 3-team playoff where the 2 and 3 team seeded teams play each other in the first weekend, and the winner of that series plays the top seed. So they get not only home advantage for all 3 games, they also have a bye the week before, which is a huge advantage for the number 1 seed. And right now, the Stampede are looking very good for 24 points. And the other broadcast that you should be watching after we get through this is the Swarm and the Admirals. I'm not sure exactly how they're sailing, but you should check them out if you get a chance between the intermission. So we'll leave you there as the all-important points race continues in the NZIHL, and we go to intermission. Second intermission here in Christchurch. The Stampede 8, the Red Devils 0. We'll see you in a few minutes. Red Devils hockey brought to you by Beely Quarter. Accommodation, function room, plus a bustling restaurant and bar provided unrivaled hospitality experience in Christchurch. BeelyQuarter.co.nz. Welcome back, everybody, to the Alpine Ice Sports and Entertainment Center. My name's Matt Chavez. We are about to bring you third period action here in Christchurch. The Canterbury Red Devils home team here in the building getting pasted, unfortunately. It is 8-0. The Red Devils trying to figure things out, but I do have to read this out just so that we have the goals. Apparently I was seeing something else here because we have Colin McIntosh getting the first goal from Jordan Chalice. Colin McIntosh getting the second goal from Nolan Ross. A couple of penalties, and then Colin McIntosh got the third one. Then Colin McIntosh got the fourth one. And then Nolan Ross with the fifth goal from Jeff McCallum. Josh Hurley getting the sixth goal. That was the deflection that was just a wild one. And then Jeff McCallum with the seventh and eighth goals unassisted, making it 8-0. And we are back underway here in Christchurch. 3-2 the score over in the other game. That was a good one, especially with a goal with 1 second to go in the first period. And as you may have just seen there, the white helmet indicates that the Red Devils have made a goalie change. It is Tim Carey out there for the third period to see if they can right the ship. A turnover right in front of Carey. Another shot, but Devlin not able to do anything with that. And the Red Devils break out. Esposito missing that pass as it goes by from Dallimore. Esposito playing it there. And as they skate away with it, Tappan has it. Turned around, and it's Ross coming in 1-on-3. He holds up, looks for a pass. McCullum with it in his favorite spot, but a stop by Carey. And a good start for the Red Devils goaltender starting out here in the third period. I guess we'll, 8-0 being the score, we'll have a Tim Carey scoreboard as well, just to watch what we do in the third period. But the Red Devils lose that one. Freer's got it at the point, kicked aside, goes to Hodge. Hodge flips it forward, and Brown taken down. We play on, and that puck goes back out to neutral. Nichols with it, takes a slap shot. That was allowed to go on, and we continue play as well. So nobody really wanting to stop this, and that goes for an icing, I think, as Tim Carey puts his glove on it just in case. But an interesting 80 seconds to start the third period. It is indeed icing as they bring it all the way back. Snowmania, the best selection of gear to get you up the mountain and experience skiing and snowboarding. Check out snowmania.co.nz. Hunt to take this one. He wins it. It goes to Nichols at the point, but he can't hold it in. They have to reset. Comes in offsides, but the Stampede take it right back out. McCullum loses it. Gives it to Brown. Brown takes it in. Holds up. Takes the wrister. It gets deflected on the way in. Brown chases it in the corner. Goes to Nichols. And we continue here. That puck passed forward, but taken away by Chalice for just a moment. He can't do anything when it goes out to neutral. Knocked around, and Meisternock trying to get it to Keocope, but gets it back. Meisternock with it. Meisternock to Keocope. He passes it to Bull. Bull takes it up the left side. 1-on-2. He takes a shot that's kicked aside by Brooks. Willis there first. He gets in the corner. That's swung around. Stays with Bull. Bull's taken down. We play on. And, well, that's another situation where they let the players play in this third period to get through it, it looks like. The thing we got to be careful with is that it doesn't get too physical, of course. We need all the players on the ice. couple, well, we know of at least one on the Red Devils that is sitting a suspension. That's Mason Reese. All of that information's on NZIHL.com. You can take a look at that at your convenience, but in the meantime, it's Orr. And he loses that in front, but can't do anything with it as Hurley's going around the side there. And again, players tumble to the ice. Referees continue to not be interested until now. Penalty called. I believe there's a penalty. No, so one of the referees is waiting. It looks like a face-off has been called for some indication, but it's at neutral ice on the offsides dot here. So Orr's going to take that, and another stop in play. As it looks like Esposito and Harrison squeezed in, they're having a good laugh about it. To Burns. Shot low and to the side. Burns holds it in the zone. Good play there at the point, but it's turned over and then turned back as another Hopkins pass out of the corner doesn't make it to its player. But fortunately for the Red Devils in this case, that puck comes out to the Stampede in their defensive end. Ross with it at the moment. Esposito stickless. He does get it back. Ross with a shot. That's deflected by Meisternock into the netting for a stop in play. Spinorama is proud to sponsor your team and offer the best in Fisher ice hockey sticks. For top-notch performance, visit spinorama.nz and gear up like the pros. Go Red Devils. Spinorama.co.nz or spinorama.nz. Tappan watches that go by as double Nichols Logan Willis picks that one up, and he's upended. We play on. McIntosh gets that away from Brown. McIntosh, wrist flip, and Carey stops it as that backhanded wrist effort just not quite high enough to get by. And we continue on. 8-0 to score here. No goals in the third, and this face-off is moved to the other side. I was just going to have a good camera angle on that, and now we move it over there. So McIntosh takes that, wins it away, but goes to Freer. Freer keeps it in. No, it's offside. It was off. And we stop play, and that face-off's going to come out to the offside dot. So the other game, the 3-2, I think, was the score at the end of the first. And that one's going to be a nail-biter. You just know it is. Freer with that kick away. But an important one for both clubs. Either the Admirals finding points and solidifying their 3 spot, or the Swarm keeping pace with the chase for number 1. Kicked away. And that's Hodge going down. That's offside, and McIntosh can't play it there. Pardon me for the moment. And, yep, there we go. So this is what happens when you have... I actually have 32 buttons in front of me, so my apologies for those of you watching. That is how buttons get pushed. You get a little cough, and then something like that happens, but thanks for sticking with us. And that's... Terangi Hinari with the work there to get the puck around the zone but not out. And Hunt with it, and Nichols digging away. They try to get it out of the corner. And it looks like that was Gallagher to Terangi Hinari. To Meisternock. Nichols falls down as he's skating backwards. He's got to catch up to this one. Sofer with a shot, but he can't do anything with it. I think Nichols actually got his stick in the way there just at the last minute. Another great effort by Dan Nichols. He will feel that one in the morning, he'll tell you, but for the moment, He saves Tim Carey from a blistering shot at close range. Sofer knocked off the puck, and Nichols gets it, tries to spin it out. And that is gently put down the ice in order to turn that around and get some fresh legs off the bench there. Route with a nice touch pass down the ice, and the Red Devils with it. Dodwell's got it at the moment. Off his stick. Stays in for a moment by Hopkins. Good play at the point there, but the puck goes back to neutral. Carried back through. Hunt tries to get it back in, but Dodwell cannot hold up at the blue line. And another offsides face-off coming up. Majors Contracting is a trusted family business specializing in subdivision, earth moving, green waste, and construction for over 50 years. majorscontracting.co.nz. Hunt flipping it in, hits the Zamboni door clean, and Stampede have the puck. Up to neutral, tipped aside from Ross. Hopkins on the back check, and that puck goes into the glass. One of the linesmen tipped over at the offense, or at the offsides line there, the blue line. He's still wiping snow off of him as he was caught in the train wreck as it just came towards him. He couldn't get out of the way. Dodwell flips it forward. Brooks looks at it. And of course the shutout watch is on. Aston Brooks pitching the goose egg at the moment. Esposito with it at neutral. He's looking to figure out how to get things going. He's coming up the left side, his favored choice. In front, Dallimore with a sweeping shot. And Brooks up to the challenge as it hits his pads hard. And he doesn't give up a rebound there. 8-0. Good chance there for the Red Devils. But that did not get by Aston Brooks. Esposito to take this face-off. He loses that one to the Stampede. McCullum with it at the moment. McCullum passes it forward. Dallimore takes it in. He's in the corner. He goes around looking for a pass that goes almost over the net as a pass. Stays in. Low pass shot from Willis. Kind of just that wrister looking for the deflection. Orr steals it. Neutral ice. He skates hard. Slams on the brakes. Gives it to Willis on the other side. Willis with a low shot and a chance. And Orr scores. Joe Orr with the deflection. Brooks cannot hold it in. And it is 1-0 in the third period only. There it is. That's the one thing the Red Devils have been looking to get all afternoon. And 8-1 the score as the shutout is broken. And they've opened the account, if a little late here. But like I said, we're going to keep score for Tim Carey, just for him. And he's up 1-0 at the moment in third period scoring. Meisternock digging away from Ruski Jones. He gets it back to Nichols. Nichols skates around Carey. Passes it up to Hunt. Hunt skates it up the right side. Up to Nichols. Meisternock pushes it forward. Now Brown. Brown to Meisternock. Great collection there on that pass. That shot gets deflected. Brooks didn't know where it was for a moment, but it's turned over to the Stampede. And Brown pushed off that one. Freer with it. Sofer takes it. And that puck's up to Ruski Jones. Up to Hurley. Back to Ruski Jones. They play on. That was over the blue line a couple of times, but we play on here. Lachlan Hodge comes up the left side. He takes a low wrister. There's a yard sale going on as Hodge lost his right glove, or his left glove, excuse me, and he still is without a stick. Harrison with that puck continues with it for the Stampede, goes out to the point. High wrister by McCullum. McCullum gets it back, and that's bounced in front, and Carey holds on to it between the leg pads and gets a stoppage in play. And a stick retrieved for Hodge. And we continue on 8-1. The Red Devils continuing to show in fits and spurts that they can play with anybody in this league. It's just a matter of putting together 60 minutes. They had their closest effort of 60 minutes against the Swarm earlier in the season. And they continue to show in blocks that they can play with anybody. Stampede with a shot. Nolan Ross knocking that one right into the gear of Tim Carey. Ross knocked off the puck. Good pass by Ross in front. Carey's up to the challenge as that goes around him. Burns to the point. McCullum with another low shot and a goal. That was a blistering shot from McCullum. And we'll see if we've got that one here, as that was just ripped from the other side. As this puck goes out to McCullum, here's the pass. Steps in, nobody takes him, and that gives him too much time. And he makes it 9-1 for the Stampede. Everybody gets back in position, and Freer knocks it in. Carey's going to hold on to it, but he can't play it. Or he has to play it, excuse me. He can't hold it too long with no pressure on him. Stampede with it. McIntosh behind the goal, trying to get a pass. That's chopped away at the last second. Esposito getting it back to neutral. Dallimore with a stick lift there for a moment. And that goes for an icing as Hopkins gets there first. And the Red Devils, again, doing a pretty good job here in the third period. Played a good 10 minutes thus far. Kind of packing it in, parking the bus a little bit. And McCullum, the skilled player and import, getting a chance from distance, isn't going to miss very often. Meisternock with it. Keeps it in at the point. He does it a second time, kicks it in, and that shot doesn't go all the way past Amston as he gets it off the blade, and the Stampede continue with their offense. Long pass forward, trying to get to McIntosh. Flipped forward for a moment from Orr, and that's going to go out of play. You can tell the Stampede also fully feel this one in the bag, and they're trying to make the long passes and have some fun with it, but the Red Devils actually doing a really good job of continuing to play hard here. Despite the deficit, the effort is there on that sideline, and that bench is looking very much like, well, they're a little hurt, that's for sure, but they are playing hard every chance they can. The Red Devils continuing with that puck play, and it's going to be tapping. It's going to get there. Are they going to give him the icing? He does get that. I'm not sure he was skating all out there, but didn't need to skate all out in order to get the icing. 8:53 to go in the third. It's going to be Gallagher to take this one. Ruski Jones wins that. Another face-off. It's just been a statistical approximation by myself, but they were the Stampede are winning about 2-1 face-offs, and it's really shown this afternoon in the opening possession. The Stampede just get the puck more often off that face-off dot, and that's something that they're going to need to look for a little bit better option tomorrow. Maybe look at some of the tape there. We'll see. Who knows? Maybe they'll find a secret. Who knows? Ruski Jones with a quick wrister. Carey knocking it aside as he gave him nothing there. Knocked out to neutral. Hirangi Hinari. And that goes to McCullum. He skates it in onside himself. Looking for Harrison in front. Harrison denied twice. Denied 3 times. And Carey falling on that puck finally. A fantastic save by the goaltender. Let's see if we got any of that on there. But as Harrison was in front, he just dug away and dug away. 3 different chances. And the Stampede able to continue the offense, but they don't get anything by Carey. Carey flips it aside as it goes back to him. Sean Brown trying to play it in front and in the crease, but Tim Carey not having anything to do with it. That goes in front. That was dangerous for a moment. That was Ross again, as per normal. Devlin has it now, and the top line back out. Harrison in front. That's knocked aside. Nichols' skate. His boot knocking it aside. It goes back to Brooks. Brooks is going to hear all about it because Nichols snowed him, and that's going to be unappreciated by the Stampede, of course. Nichols quickly skates away to avoid any other confrontation, and a line change by both sides. 7:27 to go here in the third period. 9-1 the score. And it'll be, looks like Esposito's going to be out to take this one. Sorry, Orr's going to take it. Esposito's just playing back a little bit as that left wing instead of playing up at the dash. Won by the Stampede. Usually the announcer's curse works pretty well, and you say something's been happening and then the opposite happens, but that hasn't been the case thus far. They continue to win faceoffs. McIntosh holding onto that puck for a while, but as he passed it to Anston didn't quite coordinate that. 1-2. Goes back to McIntosh. He's onside. Chalice passes it away. Dallimore gets a stick lifted, but it does not go out of the zone. Now Willis makes sure. It goes up to Dallimore. 2-on-2. He's skating the blue line, trying to get something with it. He passes it. Brooks trying to play it with his stick. He's turned around, but he gets back in position. Tappan pushes it around to Orr in the corner. McIntosh with it. Long pass to the other side of the ice. Chalice looking. Chalice leaving it to McIntosh. Esposito taking his man out. Then a turnover. Esposito with it up the gut here. 2-on-2. He holds on to it, goes skates left, looks for a pass, takes the shot, and it's scored by, who was that? Oh, we got to find out here. That was Bull. That was Bull. Sorry about the turnaround there, but that was Hayden Bull getting himself a goal in this afternoon's proceedings. A shout out to the Hayden family for that one. Thank you, and thank you for earlier this afternoon. Appreciate it. In case you happen to be watching this. And a low shot. Tim Carey glove save. It looked like it was outside the pipe there, but he makes no mistake. And the Tim Carey score is 2-1 for the Red Devils, but of course it's 9-2 on the scoreboard. Bull to take this one.
Goal to the Red Devils by number 93, Hayden Bull. Assisted by
Hunt bringing that one up. And that's passed to the other side to Hurley. Hurley takes a good shoulder check by Hopkins there. Good physicality by him. Knocked aside. Dodwell getting it out to neutral. He does, but it's to Burns. Burns passes it to Hurley. Hurley's bringing it in, but it was Sofer that was offsides at the time that it happened, so we'll have a face-off. Amazing cars at amazing prices. Goodcars.co.nz. Face off in that far dot for the offside, just outside the blue line. Gallagher to take. Ruski Jones wins to Burns. Comes into Sofer. Sofer passes to Ruski Jones. The other Ruski Jones. It was Axel getting that one. Meisternock having a hard time with the puck at his skates in the slot. Carey finally parries it away with his stick. Stampede with it still. That's deflected away. Nichols tries to guide it out. Nichols gets to it first. And back to Burns as the Stampede reset. Pass forward to Ruski Jones. Nichols Giving it to Gallagher. To Devlin. 2-on-3. Shot and a goal! Wrister by Nolan Ross again. Ross just ringing it up. And you'll see it come up the far side here as Ross comes in. And that wrister beats Carey for a 10-2 score. There it is. And, of course, that ties it up for the Tim Carey score of the third period. The Red Devils and Stampede both scoring 2 goals in the third period, so we'll see how this continues on. Got to make a game out of it somehow. Orr with it up to Dallimore. Dallimore back to Orr. Orr coming in with some speed, leaves it for Esposito. Esposito knocked over. He swats it in front to Dallimore. Dallimore with a shot in front. Brooks comes out on him unexpectedly and stops the puck early, so he can't get a shot. Turned over again to the Red Devils. That's off the post. Shot in front. Dallimore can't quite get anything on that one as he was trying to put it into a net that was, I wouldn't say wide open, but he had a chance. But it was a tough shot, and he couldn't send that one home. Esposito now has it. He gains the zone, gets it flipped away, and Freer knocks it out to neutral. Willis has to collect. No, it's going to be Orr that gets there first. Willis plays Harrison. Harrison holds on to it, gets through both men. Harrison with a flip, and he can't do anything with it. Sorry, that was Devlin taking that shot, and Harrison had it now. Willis knocks it to the side with Tappan. Tappan with a long shot, or the long pass out, excuse me. Dallimore has it. Dallimore keeps it away. Dallimore to Esposito. Esposito holds on to it, 1-on-2. Takes the shots deflected away by Amston. And Willis charging down the forecheck. Sorry, Bull doing that. And that puck comes back in. McIntosh looking for the outlet, gets it caught in his skates. He holds on to it instead. Turned around, Bull with it for a moment. He gets it to Dodwell. Dodwell with a low, kind of a runner shot, sort of, at Brooks. And they fight for it in the corner over there. Get a good look at that. And as that gets knocked away, that goes into the side. And McIntosh has a 2-on-2. He gets that pass off to Freer. A great pass and a better save. Tim Carey holding on to it, waiting. That is a very slow whistle. And he had that. The players are very frustrated with this. This is not the first time that Tim Carey's had issues with this particular rule. But there were players in the area, and they played on. But they're not allowing a change for the Red Devils here. And here comes the face-off. It'll be McIntosh against Bull. Bull wins that one. McIntosh was not even ready. He hadn't put his stick down. They threw the puck down. And there's a penalty coming up against the Stampede. And some frustrations going on here. We'll see what the call is. 2 minutes for... not sure on that one. McIntosh probably, hands on hips, that's unsportsmanlike. So that is what he'll sit for. 10-2 the score with 2.5 to go. You see the 2 minutes going on the board there, and we'll play this one out with mostly a power play for the Red Devils. And Orr to take this one. Stampede win another face-off. It goes around the boards. And Hunt's going to have to collect that one. The building goes quiet again.
Penalty against the Stampede by number 91, Colin McIntosh.
Esposito with the puck. Esposito holds on to it, goes up the left side, passes it around the boards, goes to Orr. Orr gets it. Gets to Hunt on the point. Goes to tap in from Dallimore. Esposito with it. Esposito passes back to Tappan. Tappan controlling the play here. That pass gets knocked away. Hunt to Dallimore gets deflected, and that one's going to go the length of the ice. No, Tappan with a good play, knocking that out of midair. But then he gets it taken away from Ruski Jones, who just swings it in. And the Stampede kills some more time as Hurley keeps it, well, Freer kept it in the zone from Hurley, and now they break out. Hunt gets to Esposito. Esposito on the left. Esposito gets the puck taken from him, and they're going to have to chase that one down. Tappan gets there first. Tappan skating that out. Gets to Bull. Bull with it. The earlier goal scorer. Bull circles. Bull gets it taken away from him, but he adeptly gets that puck out to Nichols. Nichols to Esposito. And that's taken away by Ross. Bull on the forecheck. That goes back out to neutral. Then all the way to Nichols. Nichols passes it forward to Bull off the boards to Brown. Brown sweeps at it, but the puck never got to him. He's dumped over. No call there. We continue on. McIntosh gently comes out. And then that's apparently stayed in the zone. Devlin gets that shot off on Carey, a light one, and Carey holds on to it. Pretty clear that they're letting him play. Let's just say that they're letting him play. And why not? It is 10-2 with 20 seconds to go, as long as there's nothing too bad there. That face-off again won by the Stampede. That shot from the point goes to the right. And another shot. This one's blocked by Carey into the corner. Out to Burns. Burns to the blue line. McCullum with a shot. It's deflected early, and that's going to do it. Horn sounds, and this game is over. 10-2 the score. Very similar to the 11-1 and 7-3 beatings that the Stampede gave the Red Devils earlier this year. This one just happens to sting a little bit in front of the home crowd as the Red Devils fans go home a little happier with a couple of goals scored in that third period before the end of the afternoon. And hey, the Red Devils did put up 2 goals just like the Stampede did in the third. So handshakes all around. We're going to let you get to the other game because we know that one's an important one. We're going to leave you with the standings here. Remember, this one's that close. It'll be the Stampede with 24 points, so they're going to stay in first place. And we'll see you tomorrow afternoon at the same time, same teams tomorrow, Sunday afternoon. If you come out here, we'll see you at the Alpine Ice. Thanks, everybody. We'll take care. Take care. We'll see you soon.